22 with more property sold than anyone else. Owner Steve Craig's here, and we'd love to go to work for you. Find out how by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and people's bank and trust. They put people first. You can find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. Well, it is that time of year. No, I mean, yes, it is time for Christmas, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Medicare open enrollment period ends December 7th. And here to talk all about that and more, I have insurance agent and owner of BK Insurance Services, Kathy Cravens in studio. Great to have you back here, Kathy.
Thank you, Avery. It's good to be back.
So tell me, why is it so important to evaluate 2023's coverage?
Well, I want to start out by saying, let's talk about, first of all, the supplement plans that are also known as the Medigap plans. I do want to make it clear that those do not change from year to year. Okay, what the benefits that are listed in the 2023 CMS booklet that's mailed out to everyone, those benefits do not change. What does change is the drug plans and the Medicare Advantage plans. Those change from year to year. Providers change, formularies change, pharmacies change. So and benefits can change, networks can change. So it is important just to review and to make sure that the current plan that someone's on is still the most appropriate one for them. Any changes that are made during this annual enrollment period take effect January 1st.
Okay. If I don't review my coverage and make a change, I mean, what is that leaving me vulnerable to?
Well, there could be higher drug costs. People's needs change from year to year, and formularies change as far as what the copay would be. I will say, because of the Inflation Reduction Act that President Biden signed a few months ago, great news as far as the lower copays on many drugs. Insulin, for example, will cap out at $35 a month. That's great news. Some of the insulin drugs are very expensive. And for beneficiaries who take insulin through a traditional pump, which falls under Medicare Part B, those benefits will start July 1st. So, but the $35 cap on insulin is going to go into effect January 1st.
So you could see some higher drug costs, though, apart from insulin, if you don't review your coverage. And really, it's, I guess, why wouldn't you review your coverage? It's pretty easy, especially with you, Kathy, I would imagine.
Well, and several people do.
Yeah.
I just recently read a report where they think that roughly 1 in 3 Medicare beneficiaries do not check whether or not another plan would be a better fit than their current one. That's nationwide, but
right.
There's a tremendous need out there for someone to sit down with them and go over their plan, go over their situation, and see whether or not there's a better option.
How often when you sit down with someone, just looking stuff over, right, you're just kind of taking a look, do you notice something like, hey, I can save you money here if we change you to this? How often does that happen when you're sitting down with a client?
It doesn't really work that way. I mean, I plug in all of their information and their current list of medications, and then we can do comparisons on Medicare.gov to take a look and see what their premiums would be, if any, what their copays are going to be, depending on their individual situation.
Okay. But I would imagine it happens relatively often where they discover through that sit down that they can save some money if they change their program.
I have been able to help several people. Sometimes, if they are on the best plan for them, I'm the first one to say that. And, if what they've got's good, then that's even better. But it's reassuring for them to know that they've got the best plan.
It never hurts to check.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm really trying to hammer home here. Anything else that you'd like to say about the importance of checking your coverage during this enrollment period that ends December 7th? Anything else that you'd like to add, or can we move on a little? All right.
I did want to mention
Okay, go
too,
ahead.
starting January 1st, because of the Inflation Reduction Act, all recommended inoculations under Part D will there will not be any cost sharing. That even includes the shingle shot. So that is something new for 2023.
Okay. Can I do anything about these annoying telemarketers? They keep calling. Kathy, get this. They're calling me, my number. And I just keep saying, oh, I think you need to call somebody else. I mean, what is there anything I can do about these telemarketers?
Actually, what I'm pleased to hear is that it's coming to the attention of the lawmakers.
Oh,
I recently was able to see a letter that was signed by, hold on a second, 13 senators.
wow.
And this letter is addressed to the Department of Health and Human Services and also the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. This is dated November 11th of this year. And this summer, I'm just going to read a
Go
few
ahead.
things that's in this letter. This summer, the Senate Finance Committee opened an investigation into reported increases in deceptive marketing practices in the Medicare Advantage program. They've uncovered a concerning pattern of misleading advertising materials, aggressive marketing tactics, and in some cases, flat out deception harmful to beneficiary access to care and health outcomes. False and misleading marketing and fraudulent sales practices create confusion and can undermine continuity of care. They are proposing that CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, should prohibit Medicare Advantage plans from contracting with entities that design materials to suggest that they are from the Medicare program or another federal agency. Medicare Advantage plans should only be able to advertise benefits that are available in a beneficiary's area. Loopholes allowing cold calling should be stopped. CMS should prohibit Medicare Advantage plans, agents, and brokers from purchasing lists of leads and prohibit agents and brokers from calling beneficiaries multiple times a day, days in a row. I'm so pleased to see that it's coming to the attention. And hopefully by this time, a year from now, better practices will be put into place. The problem here is the scammers.
Right.
Many of them aren't even calling from within the United States, and they've become very aggressive and very creative in drawing the information they're wanting out of seniors. I teach all the time, do not talk to these people, just hang up. So it is a problem, but like I said, I'm glad to see it's come to the attention of our senators, and it looks like that they're moving forward in trying to eliminate some of this.
I know you and me have talked a lot about scammers and what you can do about them. Are there quote unquote legitimate telemarketers with this, or are generally any calls soliciting your healthcare coverage going to be a scam?
Yes, there are some legitimate
Okay.
ones. It's the call centers from the insurance companies.
Right.
They have, and the callers must be licensed agents. They also, a new ruling that went into effect October 1st of 2022 is that the legitimate calls have to record the conversation, and they have to tell the person they're calling within the first 60 seconds of the conversation that they are being recorded for educational and compliance purposes. If and I'm a senior, so I answer once in a while. I answer some of these calls because I want to see whether or not they're being recorded, and they tell me that I'm being recorded. And the ones that I do take, they don't say that, so I hang up on them.
Yeah.
The first thing I say is, "Who did you say you're with?" Play dumb. And of course, then they start stuttering a little bit because that wasn't the response they were wanting. And then when they start fumbling, then I hang up. But the legitimate ones, licensed agents aren't allowed to solicit. So, a lot of these calls are not legitimate.
More than not, they are not legitimate.
It seems like there's more and more of them every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk a little bit more about why someone should use BK Insurance Services. But first, let's head into a quick timeout. That's insurance agent and owner of BK Insurance Services, Kathy Cravens, here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from her in just a moment, right here on WTIM, your information station, streamed on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook and on YouTube at WTIM TV.
WTIM.
Check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all trading lower at this hour. December corn 656 3/4, down 5 1/4. March corn down 3 1/4, 663 3/4. May corn 662, down 3 1/4. January beans 1452 1/2, down 17. March beans down 16 3/4, 1458 3/4. May beans 1466 1/4, down 16 1/2. December Chicago wheat 762 1/4, down 9 1/4. March wheat down 8, 787 1/2. January bean meal 424.20, up 640. January bean oil 67.52, down 436. January feeders in the livestock market 180.37, down a dime. December live cattle down 30 cents, 152.77. December lean hogs 82.87, down 2 cents. In the energy market, January crude oil 83.10, up 2.55. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
After decades airing on WTIM at 11:06 weekday mornings, Swap Shop is moving. Yes, Swap Shop is moving to 7:50 weekday mornings, replacing WTIM Trivia starting December 1st. Get ready to buy, sell, trade, or give away from 7:50 till 8 weekday mornings when the WTIM Swap Shop moves, making way for another hour of agriculture programming on WTIM, your ag information station.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
Santa is bringing good sleep. An all-new Bemco Arctic Breeze, Max Life, or Chatham & Wells mattress from Just Beds can improve your sleep and help you cope with the stress of the season. This month, twin Bemco mattresses $149, queen mattresses just $229. Save up to $300 with the all-new Bemco Arctic Breeze. As always, free delivery, setup, and haul away. Merry Christmas from the guys at Just Beds. Want less holiday stress? See the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds on Montvale in Springfield.
Just Beds.
Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville invites you to make their home your home. Become part of the Rolling Meadows family. Applications for residency are now being accepted. Rolling Meadows offers seniors 62 and older a smoke-free facility with round-the-clock maintenance, controlled access, large kitchens with full-size appliances, on-site laundry facilities, complimentary Wi-Fi in common areas, and more. Call 217-287-2450 to schedule an appointment. Rolling Meadows is sponsored by Lutheran Social Services of Illinois and funded through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and Federal Home Bank of Chicago. Rolling Meadows is an equal housing opportunity.
Your information station. WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your street brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have insurance agent and owner of BK Insurance Services, Kathy Cravens, here on the WTIM Morning Show. And before going to break, we talked a little bit about how the Inflation Reduction Act is helping seniors who are seeking Medicare. And so we touched, Kathy, a little bit on how it's going to lower insulin costs. What else will the Inflation Reduction Act offer?
Okay, in 2024, the 5% coinsurance in the catastrophic phase will be eliminated. We won't go into the catastrophic phase, but that's pertaining to drug costs and the copays on drug costs. And then in 2025, beneficiaries' annual out-of-pocket will cap out at $2,000 for the year. Currently, there's no out-of-pocket limit. So that 5% co-insurance being eliminated is very important. And then also capping out the maximum out of pocket at 2,000 for the cost of drugs. So that's good. In 2025, Medicare will also be able to start negotiating the price of some drugs beginning in 2026. So this is the first time, because of this Inflation Act, Reduction Act, that Medicare will be able to work with the pharmaceutical companies and negotiate some of the high-priced drugs.
Right. 'Cause
So that's going to be a great
the
savings.
way I understand it now, the drug companies set their price, and that's just it.
Right.
Do I have that right?
You do,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So in less than 4 years, then they'll be able to do that. And
Mhm.
cool.
It's going to be phased in over time, but
Okay.
I hope the act stays in place and we move forward with this.
Well, why should someone use BK Insurance Services to overview their Medicare?
Um, I I'm local.
Right.
I'm local. I work out of my home office here across the street from Kroger. I'm accessible and I'm in business year round. This isn't just during the annual enrollment period. So I'm here to help people turning 65 this next year. And it's best to contact me 3 months before their 65th birthday month to start the process, because it does take time, and then we can go over the options and they can decide which plan that is going to be best for them. Retirees that are going to be losing their employer group insurance, that will initiate a special enrollment period. So, again, they need to contact me, when they know that they're going to be retiring, and then we can start the process. Um, Anyone on disability for 24 months automatically go on Medicare. And then once they go on Medicare, I can help them choose a plan. So these are things that happen all year round. Um, those who have Medicare Part A and they're still working and they have the Blue Cross Blue Shield as their employer plan, and they would have lost their Springfield Clinic doctors. I could help them because what they can do, they have some options. They could disenroll from their group plan, get Medicare Part B in place, and then choose a plan that has Springfield Clinic in the network. I've helped several people in that situation. I offer dental plans that's outside of Medicare. They're individual and family plans. So that's an additional product line that I have. Also sell life insurance, and I have very affordable hospital indemnity plans. It's designed to cover out-of-pocket expenses in their Medicare Advantage plan. So anyone that does have a Medicare Advantage plan and would like to see what those benefits are, I'd be glad to schedule an appointment and go over it with them. Um, and that's outside of Medicare as well. So those are plans that we can write any time of the year.
Well, again, how can people get in touch with you? And I know you also make appearances throughout the community too, and throughout the time. Still at the Senior Citizen Center? That's what I'm alluding to. Or is that
I have been during the annual enrollment period,
Okay.
At the Senior Center on Tuesdays. I will not be there this next
Okay.
Tuesday because we just have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then AEP is over. So anyone that wants to schedule an appointment, need to get it on the books. Time's filling up quickly. You can contact me at 217-414-1201.
And just to reiterate, just because Wednesday, December 7th passes doesn't mean that you are of no use anymore. You're going to be there for everyone year round. Based on
Exactly.
anything that has to do with Medicare.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you'd like to add before you go here, Kathy?
I'm a senior helping seniors, and I'll be glad to help. There's no charge and no obligation for my services.
Seniors, well, helping seniors, that's the goal. And with insurance agent and owner of BK Insurance Services, Kathy Cravens. Kathy, thank you so much for taking time to explain this to us.
Thank you, Avery, and Merry Christmas. It's coming quickly.
By the time we talk next, I'm sure it'll already have come and gone. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. Those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W240.